Hi, my name is Jake and I was a member of the 2021 Jessup World Champion team, and today I'll be explaining to you how to write written submissions. Written submissions are a structured outline of arguments that are prepared so that opposing counsel and judges can follow along whilst you're making your oral submissions. We have 3 top tips for the preparation of your written submissions. First, do your research. A good place to start is with unit of study outlines or notes from subjects that you've previously done. If you're competing in the contracts moot, for example, the contracts unit of study or notes are a useful guide for the issues in dispute, and typically for internal moots, these are the places where the issues will be drawn from. Another helpful starting place is the competitions handbook prepared by SULS. There you'll both find precedents from previous years to help guide you in the structure of your written submissions, but there are also helpful links to different places to begin your research. Another great place to look is in textbooks or in reference guides to understand these issues. Typically, a good place to start is in Halsbury's Laws, which is available through Lexis, which outlines different areas of law and has helpful lists of authorities across jurisdictions to allow you to start your research approach. We also recommend understanding exactly what you're looking for. You should be looking to find persuasive authorities that help your side that are in the correct jurisdiction. If you do want to rely upon decisions which are outside of the jurisdiction that you're mooting on, what you'll need to do is have a reason why this should be used by the court, because it's not going to be binding upon it. And that can be for public policy reasons, because these facts are so unique that they've only arisen in other jurisdictions, and that law is quite similar. So second, structure your written submissions. This is really important because it helps define the clarity of your written submissions. Start with your strongest point on each ground of appeal and make sure that in every argument you have both factual elements, so you're referring to the fact pattern and the judgment below, and then also have your legal arguments which are intermixed with your factual arguments. And that will make it clear exactly where you're going and what points you're making. And third, writing your submissions. A submission is a because sentence. So within each ground of appeal, you need to include the following. First, the proposition to be proved, i.e., the trial judge erred in whatever finding they made. Second, a statement of the law with your authority that you found doing all of your extensive research. Third, an application of the law to the facts. And fourth, a conclusion. And these 4 elements are exemplified in one of the precedent submissions contained in Annex 1 to the Competitions Handbook. And we'll be looking specifically at Submission 1, which we note starts with the proposition to be proved that the trial judge was correct to find that these words did not amount to assault. We then start with our statement of law. Mr. McNamara's words could not hold any subjective intention to create an apprehension of threat in Mr. Smith's mind, and then there's an authority given. What the next stage, the application of the law to the facts, and this is done really, really well here in 1.1.1, is to engage with what was actually happening in the factual issues in the case. So the syntax of the words indicate that Mr. McNamara was vocalizing a conditional threat, which could not be carried through, and thus there would not be any reason to apprehend unlawful violence or harm. So the difference between 1.1 and 1.1.1 is that there's a high-level statement of what would amount or could amount to an assault, and then there's an engagement with the facts to show why the trial judge was correct to find that it did not amount to assault. Now the ways that I would improve this are probably twofold. First, in 1.1, I would get rid of that first phrase and tack it on at the end so that it would now read, Mr. McNamara's words could not hold any subjective intention to create an apprehension of a threat in Mr. Smith's mind due to the colloquial usage of similar phrases. And I do that because it's a much more active sentence. In that way, you're really proving it. It's a little bit too passive at the moment. And the second thing that I would do in this 1.1.1 is to cite the facts and the specific paragraphs that you're referencing. So that's really important. What you want to do is make it as easy as possible for a judge to read your written submissions, find exactly what you're referencing, and then go from there. And once you've done that, it's very easy for you to get up and then have a judge which is already on your side because they actually understand what you're saying. Thank you for following along. You can find more examples of written submissions in the competitions handbook, which is on the SULS website. Please tune in to the next video, which is how to moot part 2, appearances, which is up on the SULS website and its YouTube page. Bye.